We are back with another episode of looking for undervalued stocks, going through the alphabet, and today's letter is all about the letter B. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down the stock that I think is undervalued that could be a good potential play for the long term using software, using my own data analysis. So as always, if you're excited for today's video, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those bell notifications for all future uploads. As you will see on my screen now, we have the Adobe position that we bought into on Monday morning. Currently, it is up 1.13%, up a whole dollar. Woo! I know. We're all super excited to be up a dollar here, but again, these are long-term holds that I think this is a very undervalued stock, and I think it is primed for a rebound in the long term. So the hope, the goal, the aim is to build this portfolio up so that way we are able to make some very good money long term, and we can do it through a variety of ways. Again, the first way that we do it through is going to be looking at the TraderDaddy software, as we'll see here. And again, if you're looking to get access to the software here, they're still running their promotion where it is $1 for the first month. Use the link down below in the description to sign up for the first month. You get it for $1, and they are doing a giveaway right now that closes, I believe, in about 4 days. And I'm doing a thing where if my name gets picked for a prize, I'm giving it back to anybody who signs up using my code for the $1 promo. So take a look at it. Link in the description below. It's $1 for the first month, and if you hate it, you never have to do it ever again. But a lot of people who have signed up for it have already made some money back and then some, as you know. But without further ado, let's get into the long-term position that we're looking at here. Again, as you will know, the TraderDaddy software is a lot with options, but it has a little bit of everything for us, because what you're going to see is that they have what's called a long-term tab. Now, take a look here. You have the option flow, as we know. You have all these different tools up top here, but if you go into research, you go to long-term right here, it brings up this section right here. And this section gives a score from 0 to 100 off of profitability, growth, valuation, dividend payouts, all that stuff. That data is in here, and then it's used to calculate a score off it. So for example, if we go back into looking at stock Adobe, which again is letter A for the other day, today we're on B, so who knows where it's going to be. Ooh, I do actually. But again, it breaks down the profitabilities, their margins, their balance sheets, the growth, the valuations, all that stuff is brought into this spreadsheet here, and it gives you a score. In this case, it was a score of an 84, so it came out to be a pretty good long-term hold off of that. Again, we are also using my spreadsheet as well that you'll see up top here, and we'll show you the numbers on that as well from a, strike price, valuation, those kind of things as well. So, believe it or not, there was a couple stocks I had to think about for letter B. And one of them was like Bank of America, and I was like, not really feeling Bank of America as much. I didn't really like it as much here. You have Alibaba, which is BABA, but I didn't go that route, actually. The route I actually went into was ticker symbol BLK, BlackRock Incorporated, which is focusing on the financial services. Score of 82, so a little bit below the score of Adobe. Adobe was an 84. BlackRock is an 82. So, so that's already kind of important to keep in mind about. And going into BlackRock here, we take a look at their financials here. Again, they have earnings that are not, they already have their earnings recently, so that's already really, really good. We're going to be buying into them, and they also have a nice dividend as well. So the long-term portfolio will also get dividend payouts as well, which is great. So we get a nice little passive income as we continue to go forward here. But take a look, looking at their margins, net margin 24%, amazing. Operating margin 32.5%. Again, these are, as long as they're above 20, they're really, really good. Return on assets, return on equities are a little bit lower than the Adobe numbers that we saw earlier. Their balance sheet is phenomenal. They have very low debt to equity. BlackRock, essentially, if you're not familiar, is a company where your grandma, your parents, somebody you know, may have assets managed by them. They have what's called AUM, assets under management. They're a financial service. They invest, all those things. They have, different sectors as well that they invest into. They have real estate's a big thing for them. Like, they are a financial powerhouse. So they are very, very well known in the financial industry. So very low debt to equity, which is great. Good for debts, obviously. Again, you don't want to have a company where they have they have more debt than equity, because that's a problem, in case they have to get, called for their loans and their debts and everything else. Interest coverage, very much similar to Adobe at 67 times. Current ratio 2.55. Gross margin 82%. That's amazing. Again, their net margin is 24%, but gross margin 82% before they have their payouts and all those things that go into it. Revenue growth, amazing, 26.5%. Earnings per share growth year over year down about 3.7%. Not ideal as much as what we saw from Adobe. Their revenues, $27.3 billion, trailing 12 months. Earnings per share, trailing 12 months, $39.86. Again, the way I look at it for earnings per share and how I kind of break it down is it's how much they make per share that you actually buy into. And again, they are not a cheap stock. Obviously, they're valued at $1,000. Actually, they're valued at $1,136 right now. At the time of recording this for one share of it. So basically, for every share that you buy into BlackRock, their earnings they bring in generate about $40 of their earnings through one share they have there, which is very, very, seems like it's a lot, but when the share price is $1,000, obviously makes a little bit more sense in that regard. Revenues, again, they're very, very good. Having them grow revenue is very, very awesome as well. Their valuation, again, you can see their price to earnings right now is 27.9. And just like we talked about with Adobe as well, when you see the forward PE ratios being lower, that means that they're growing their earnings, and it makes this ratio be a lot smaller as a result. So they're growing their earnings. They're expecting their earnings to grow, we should say, which is very, very good. You want to see that. It's a little bit, again, the beta 1.42 moves a little bit more than the stock market S&P 500, which again is very, very nice. Market cap is $183 billion. They might maybe do like a stock split maybe in the future. I don't really know. A lot of stocks get really high prices like this, like like Google, for example, Nvidia. Usually they have those big these big prices. They usually like to do like stock splits. So we'll see if that actually happens or not. Enterprise value is a little bit higher than the market cap, which again, to me, I think is a very, very good thing to see because there's a little bit more value to it than maybe what it's at right now in terms of market cap, which I actually very much enjoy as well. It is expensive on cash generation. As you will see, they give you a nice little notification there for it as well. The good thing that they do have, though, is they do have a dividend yield. So this one, again, is probably not as much upside because it might already be trading somewhat at fair value or so, especially because you got to factor in that you're also getting a 2% payout almost additionally every single year. So 1.9%. This is how much you get paid out for every share that you own. I'm not buying the whole share, obviously. I'm buying a fractional share, but that's how much you get paid out for every share you have. The payout ratio being very, very small is good. That means that a lot of their money that they still have brought in from their revenues, they then put back into the company to grow and to expand. They're not giving all that money back to shareholders. It is a nice incentive to have because, again, it kind of is, in case markets go down, at least we have the dividend to pay back as well. So this is our first dividend stock we're getting into. It's a very well-known company. And again, if this company goes down, like there's gonna be some more problems happening, I feel like, behind the scenes than just, the market itself. Again, here's your good scores here. You got your profitabilities, you got your valuations, all those things are here. It's very, very good stuff to take a look at here. Not anybody shorting this. It's mostly owned by institutions and all that kind of stuff, which is very, very good to know. So from the TraderDaddy software, which again, if you want $1 for the first month, link in the description. Just click it. It's really quick. It's $1. It's $1. Anyways, and you also get a chance to get a giveaway as well. So that's really, really cool as well. But anyways, so their software breaks down, gives a very high score here, a little bit lower than Adobe. And again, I'm not going to invest in the exact same amount into every single stock. For example, I did $85 into Adobe. BlackRock, we're doing a little bit less for that reason. Again, for my spreadsheet, Adobe had a much bigger upside of over 100% potential upside. Not guaranteed, of course. These are all assumptions made for my spreadsheet, but BlackRock, not so much, as we're going to see. Take a look at my spreadsheet value in terms of BlackRock, as you will see here. Looking at their forward earnings per shares and their PE ratios and discount rates, all that kind of stuff there. We can even zoom in a little bit more if that helps you guys out a little bit. Take a look at it. Again, it's kind of almost a little bit undervalued, not by much. As you will see, upside is only 16% compared to Adobe, which was over 100%. And again, these numbers are taken with a grain of salt, obviously, because their valuations, their assumptions, these different PE ratios are assumptions that we make here. Discount rate we factor in to make sure we have a little bit of a margin of error kind of factor into that one. Again, bear case 1 year is 921, base case 1,177. Right now it's at 1134, so it's a little bit undervalued in that regard for base case. And then bull case 1,400 for 1 year. 3 year, 5 year also looks really good as well. So what I'm kind of looking at in this case here, again, it's a little bit undervalued, not anything too crazy. So we are going to go ahead and buy some fractional shares live, just like we did with Adobe. So in case you want to be like, oh, Fridge, put your money where your mouth is, that's what we're doing right here, right now. I'm going to do it on my phone again because it's easier on my phone to do it for that reason. We're going to go into trade and make sure I'm logged in here. I want to do it on my computer because just in case, God forbid, something happens to it. And we're going to do a USD dollar amount. And I'm only allocating $60 here. So with Adobe, I did 85. Why would I do 85 and 60 for BlackRock? Off of these valuations and their growth, BlackRock has less upside compared to Adobe does. And again, those are assumption-based, obviously. But again, even looking at their financials on the TraderDaddy software here, numbers are good, but they're not like as amazing as what I saw with the revenues and, you know, their price to earnings and everything for Adobe comparatively. So we're going to put in a $60 bid in to buy the fractional shares at market value, whatever that's going to be. And again, don't forget, there's the order getting filled, as you'll see down in the bottom left corner here. We got filled at that price at $1,136.19 per share as an average. And now we are now into 2 positions of this series. Again, it's the A through Z series of undervalued stocks. Maybe that's what I should call it from now on, probably. But as you can take a look here, now you can see that BlackRock is there. Adobe is there for us as well. And again, these are not like get-rich-quick trades. These are going to be long-term holds we're going to have in our portfolio in hopes that we can make some very, very good money in the long term here. And again, we're basing it off of 2 different value perspectives. We're looking at not only the financials from TraderDaddy software, but also look at the intrinsic value and the share price of the spreadsheet I have, basing it, again, off of assumptions. But again, even, for example, say these numbers were off. Say the upside is like 8, 10%, whatever. We're still going to be able to grow our accounts no matter what because there's still upside to the stock here. What I do like about it, which is not factored into the stock here, is their dividend payout of about 2%. So if the stock goes up, 8% and we get a 2% dividend, then we're looking at more of like a 10% return like the S&P. So something to keep in mind about, but I think that's going to be a good play long-term as well. Not financial advice, of course, but now we are 2 stocks in, 24 left to go, Adobe and BlackRock. So next up on next video is going to be letter C. So if you are wondering about what it is, come back next time for letter C. And I'll tell you right now, it is not Caterpillar. I know you see that on there. It is not on this list. Okay. So don't try to figure out what it is. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you did make this far in the video, as always, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on those bell notifications as per usual. Take a look at the memberships offered over on Fridge Financials as well for some extra content if you'd like to, of course. Not force you to do so. Hopefully you guys been in the market in some way, shape, or form. And as always, I will see you guys in the next Fridge Financials video.